3-year-old boy pulled out of a backyard swimming pool last week has died.
Influencer whose little boy drowned is suing to keep the information about the investigation private.
People are accusing Emily's husband, Brady.
There's a security camera on the back of the house.
I wasn't going to do another video on this. It was going to be a one and done because this is just such a heavy topic to discuss. But there have been some incredibly horrifying updates that, as a mother, keeps me up at night, which are mostly alleged, but if true, makes perfect sense why Emilie fought so hard to seal any other details pertaining to her son's drowning.
Social media influencer whose little boy drowned is suing to keep the information about the investigation private.
And actually won.
Emilie Kiser has successfully blocked the release of her 3-year-old's death records for now. Those records could include autopsy photos, autopsy reports, police reports, recordings of the 911 calls, possibly even videos. The judge basically issued a temporary stay. So what that means is that nothing can be released until the judge makes his decision. A source close to the litigation told me for Rolling Stone, all parties have agreed that release of any information is on pause until a determination is made that balances the public's need for information versus privacy interests.
And now the internet can't further dig into any other details because so many people requested the body cam footage or the 911 call.
There have been more than 100 public record requests about the case. She says releasing those records would turn Arizona's public records law into a weapon of emotional harm rather than a tool of government transparency.
And imagine what that could do to the family if those were released. So I am glad that she was able to put a pause and block that information from coming out. But there are some details that still came out. People were able to dig up the police report from that day and are now alleging that Emilie may have witnessed the drowning with her own eyes. It was said that the day of the incident was the very first time Emilie went out since having a baby. Now we don't know whether she took the baby with her. Some are saying she did, that the baby was with her, and some are saying that the dad was home with the baby during that time. We don't know for sure. However, we do know that Brady, the husband, was responsible for watching the toddler Trig at home. And apparently while Emilie was out to dinner with friends, she got an alert on her phone about movement in the pool area. I too have security cameras around my home and motion detectors, so if anything moves around my yard, I get an alert on my phone immediately saying that there's been motion. And I know everyone these days has some sort of surveillance around their homes, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that Emilie had some sort of motion detectors around her pool and around her home because she's pretty wealthy. But anyway, I digress. It's been said that when she got the alert on her phone, she panicked and immediately called her husband. However, her husband didn't pick up. This is where people speculate that she was watching her son drown, because if you know anything about motion detecting, the moment you get a notification and you pull up the app, it's showing you exactly what's moving around. But again, still no answer from her husband, so Emilie had no other choice than to call 911.
And police officers found the child unconscious after being pulled out of a backyard pool. First responders immediately started CPR.
And it's been said that when the police arrived to the home, Brady had no clue what was going on. Like, he still didn't know that his child is...
People are accusing Emily's husband, Brady, of being neglectful and basically allowing this completely avoidable tragedy to happen. They're also saying that Brady was completely unaware that anything had even happened to their son Trig until the police showed up knocking on his front door. And that is when he realized that something was wrong.
It was supposedly the first responders that got to the child first, not any of the parents.
And police officers found the child unconscious after being pulled out of a backyard pool.
This has everyone so suspicious of Brady because he had no idea where his son was, why the police is at the house. It makes everyone wonder, what is he doing during this time? To be away from your toddler and not notice him in sight and even your phone for that long is honestly quite sus to me too. Now, it would make a little more sense if the baby was home with him. Maybe he was putting the baby to sleep or something, but even that just doesn't sound right because this baby was in the newborn phase. All they do is eat and sleep. Like, how long could he have been with the baby to not notice his toddler in sight? But again, a lot of people are also saying that Emilie did not leave the newborn home. She took him with her. So it begs the question, where was the husband and why was he not attending to the toddler?
It is being reported that Emilie was out of the house the night of the incident while Brady was at home watching his children. But according to these new accusations, Brady was actually watching a basketball game when Trigg slipped out of the house and drowned in the family's backyard pool. Another accusation that the internet is making is that Brady did not put the pool netting back on the pool when the family was done using it. Emilie is currently postpartum, leaving many on the internet to believe that it was Brady's responsibility to secure the pool with the net. And if you watch Emilie's videos, you can see that there are many mornings that it appears that Brady failed to secure the pool the night before. In the last video that Emilie posted, you can see that the pool is completely uncovered with floats in it first thing in the morning.
We have so many questions, and it's probably why Emilie really needed to keep those details sealed, because it could reveal where the husband was or even put pressure on her to leave her husband. People are already saying there's no way this marriage will survive after this, because even statistically, once you lose a child, it's very rare that your marriage lasts. They're saying she'll never be able to forgive her husband for what he did, especially looking back at the surveillance footage from that day, and seeing the negligence will probably haunt her forever.
In the docs obtained by NBC News, Emilie's lawyer details the influencer's grief over the heartbreaking accidental drowning. Her lawsuit states, Emilie is going through a parent's worst nightmare right now. She lost her young son. The suit continued, Emilie is trying her best to be there for her surviving son, 2-month-old Theodore, but every day is a battle. She requested that the court prohibit the public release of details surrounding his death, saying it would be a profound invasion of privacy.
Now that people know that Emilie was the one who made the 911 call because her husband wasn't picking up the phone, they are eagerly requesting that 911 call to be released, which is quite disgusting to me, because a mother's most traumatic moment does not need to be replayed to the whole world. Hopefully we never have to hear that devastating 911 call or see any of the body cam footage, but this investigation is still ongoing, so who knows what the findings will be, and if the judge decides to still release some of the information from that incident.
The investigation into the circumstances surrounding this incident remain ongoing. This is still an open investigation.
All of this is absolutely devastating and just wild news, because although we can't know for sure what really happened, from the information that we do know this far, it does seem like this could have been preventable. As I said in my last video, it is possible that Emilie may never return to social media, because if you didn't know, she started social media when she was going through postpartum after giving birth to Trigg, and it's what helped her get through that time of her life. And I'm not gonna lie, Trigg was the main character in a lot of her videos, so I wouldn't blame her if she decided to delete all the videos with him and never return to social media. And I know we're not gonna get answers, but I just really want to know what the husband was doing for that long. Your child hasn't been in sight for that long. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you in my next one.